All right, you guys, thank you, first of all, for being part of the Members Club. I appreciate every single one of you. Also, this is the full-length version of the video that you probably already saw on YouTube. What you're not gonna see on YouTube is obviously the full length of how long this video is, but you're gonna see a lot of the community and a lot of the talking that we do and a lot of the fun that we have and a lot of the connections that the other clients make, like you guys do here in the community, which I think is special. And so anyway, that's what this is. It's a 3-day program. Right now we have 3 dogs in this program, and everybody's working on different things. So I wanted to just create a quick intro for these videos to let you know, here it is, it's full length, enjoy it, and that's it. What's going on?
Big dog, a lot of energy. First 6 months was I had time to train, and then after that started working way too much, not staying on top of the training, so the energy level is still puppy energy, explosive, and then she's gotten aggressive, like biting. And it's not, it's just a subtle, like if you were to, this is how a scenario did happen, was her just sitting next to me and somebody came over just to pet her, and she snapped. At the dinner table, she snapped because IE feeds her from the dinner table. But
She's snappy, not biting.
she's snapping, but then I had my nephew over a couple months ago, only 7 years old, and I know to watch her. I keep her on her leash because of the previous nips, and then new people, you know, too much energy, so I let her go slow. And my nephew, I kept her by me, he was sitting playing, and then she slowly went over to him, like sniffing all the way around, so I was letting her do that. And then he was kneeling, and she sniffed up his back, and then she started like pushing on his head, and I stood up to bring her back away from, you know, get between them and just gently get her in a different direction. And she went full blown to like try and grab him. But I was in between. She didn't get to bite him or anything, but it was totally aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Borbal,
So-
right?
Pardon?
Yes,
Borbal, okay.
Yeah.
How old is she right now?
18 months.
Is she fixed?
No. Just the high energy. Like I've been watching all your videos for the longest time, and I think she should
Thank
know
you.
the sound of your voice. But I got an idea on the things to do. Okay. I have my list of questions. I'm going to lose those. But so the prong collar, I don't have the strength to get it, you know, pinched on and off of her.
Mm-hmm.
And at the one time, I'm not even sure, and I don't even want to say it because I wasn't sure of it, but I thought she growled at me as I was trying to get it on. But it's a struggle for me, so for her patience, if it was a quick snap, it probably wasn't a growl, but I don't know for sure. But the prong collar is too much, so I wanted to go to the, I want to call it a shock collar.
E-collar, remote collar.
E-collar, but I bought one, and it's a pain in the rear end. It's toggle up, toggle down, toggle over. So I did put it on her the one time because of her energy level.
Sure.
She dragged me across the yard the other night. I took her out at night, which was stupid. I don't know, animal ran, and she went after it, but drugged me, so my arm is sore. But so that's why I wanted to go to the collar, and I'm afraid to use it because I don't want to use it wrong. And then the collar I did get, like I said, it's toggle all over the place, and all I did was the beep. I only used the beep when we were walking. Like I told her to come, and I did the beep, and it was like she instantly got fearful. She didn't know what it was or whatever, and got fearful and ran to me. And my fear is that if I use it wrong, she's going to run the different direction and take me with her if I scare her with it.
So e-collar introduction
Definitely.
a bit. What e-collar did you get? The Garmin? What'd you get?
Some
Cheap one?
Some junky one. Well, I paid almost $300 for it.
It's not cheap then.
I left it at the hotel. I'm sorry because
That's okay.
I meant to bring it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
fine.
It's too much toggle up, toggle down, toggle over, and then the vibration thing, like just I think I shocked you. Didn't I shock you? The vibration thing, I was kind of surprised at how strong the vibration was because if I thought if the beep scared her,
Yeah.
that vibration thing is going to make her run from me. So she's a good dog. She's very smart, just a high energy. Like I'm trying to get him not to open the door when she's lunging at the door to get whoever's, you know, knocking at it or whatever.
Okay.
And you know, what I try to do when you break it, it just sets me back 10 more places. But she's getting it. It's just that the puppy and energy, it's a fight. You know, it takes me a lot of time to get her where I want her to be, which she will go there. Like, to settle down and just wait, place. That's what we use, place.
Have you done official like training with her before at all?
He signed us up for a class that was, it was kindergarten class, and she was already, she was the 5th grader.
She already knew what they taught.
Yeah, so it wasn't anything.
Okay. So we have some obedience, some basics.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Like, she knows to heel and stuff like that, but it's still a struggle. She still wants to do what she wants to do, and that's why I went, like, this collar, not sure if I got the prong collar the right size. They feel
Okay.
like it is, it slides down, but again, I don't feel like I'm getting her attention when I, yoke her. I'm not getting her attention with
Okay.
the prong collar.
So the correction and the pop and the
It's
leash
not,
is not getting her attention.
not,
Let me ask you a question, and that, because my wife is very excited, when it comes to the dog, she gets, her level increases
Sure.
tenfold. Do dogs feed off of that? I mean, that rapidly is what I'm saying. What I'm asking is, like,
Adam?
Butter, she gets excited and nervous.
Adam?
because-
Yes, the answer is yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not like, like he's trying to put out there that I am.
If you get, you get a little nervous. Yeah, sure. Yeah. The answer is yes. I mean, I always tell people, look, they have dogs out there that detect cancer and high blood pressure and everything. They know if you're nervous. A lot of people will be nice and relaxed like this, and they see a dog, and all of a sudden they start chirping and popping the leash, and the dog's
Well,
like,
you know what
the-"
I notice is that, like, when I do see a dog, of course, I'm going to have the challenge. And I always give the command before she does anything. Like I say,
Right.
leave it before she even does
That's
anything.
right.
And I think I'm defeating myself that
That's
you know,
exactly it.
wait until she does the wrong and then
Right.
correct it. So I realize that.
Yep. Yeah, that's right, Butter. That's a lot of what we're going to be working on. Is we're going to be working on developing your skill.
Yeah.
Very rarely is it about the dog. It's about the things that you're doing that,
Me.
Right.
Yeah.
Pay
So-
attention now. This time's talking to you.
So that's where a lot of it comes down to is making sure that we're handling properly. Just like anything else in the world, if you're swerving all over the road and you're being an idiot in your car, it's not the car's fault, right? And that's why we created the No Bad Dogs program and the movement and the everything, because I got so sick of saying it. Like, it's not, So anyway, so yeah, a lot of that is going to be working with you guys to understand how to handle. So it's kind of two different learning curves. It's teaching you guys the right way to handle, what to say, what not to say, how to hold the leash, how to breathe, everything, how to walk. Sounds silly, but there's a lot to
Yeah.
it to make it right.
It makes a difference.
And then, of course, working with her to make sure that she's where she needs to be. But a lot of times, a lot of the things that we do, or even the lack thereof of not doing things, is what creates the bad behavior. So usually once we start getting down to the core of the problem, then things start getting better.
Yeah.
But when you're dealing with a dog like this, there are some things that we have to really consider is obviously the breed is going to be protective, strong, stubborn,
Yep.
all of the above,
Yep.
right? So what I want to do to start is I want you to just work her in this room, just on your healing and your basics, and I want to see how she does with you on the leash first, and then we'll get started from there.
Good girl. Gonna heel. 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 Did you see that with the camera? Heel. Heel. I keep looking at her and I shouldn't. Heel.
Keep thinking what?
Heel. I keep looking at her and I shouldn't.
Right.
Heel.
And let's just stop and ask
Yeah.
her to sit.
Let her place. Place. Good girl. She's not bad.
Yeah, no, it's good. So your sit is place, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Heel.
Your heel is heel.
Come on. Heel.
Do you say you have a place or no? Or
No,
like a
I don't
cot?
have that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? To send
Yeah,
her. Heel. I don't have that. I'm working on it. She does have one place she goes to, heel, Butter. When people come to the door,
Mm-hmm.
before they get to the door, she's usually by a couch and away, and I try to use that as her place. because she's so comfortable. Heel, Butter. She's comfortable going there.
Yeah.
Butter, place. 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 I think she wants to go out the door. Heel. Heel.
Good, and then turn again.
Heel.
And then let's ask her to place again.
Butter, place. Place.
So give her pressure.
Plus.
Good. So when you ask her to place the first time, just give her pressure.
On the leash.
Yeah,
Okay.
right when you ask her.
It's kind of
Well,
hard.
you're not gonna correct her when you ask her. You're gonna correct her if she doesn't immediately, pretty much like that. So you can.
Place. Butter. Place.
Just move forward a little bit, reset her.
Butter.
Good, now place her
Heel.
again.
Place. Place.
So just pressure
Place.
up and hold it for a second,
Place.
and then release it.
Good
Good.
girl.
So you just want to get away from asking her to do the same thing over and over again.
Repetitive.
Right, because you're giving her opportunities to just ignore you. So it's not necessarily place, it's place, 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 place. And
Right.
That's not good for your relationship.
Repetitive.
Right. It's the same thing with employees. If I had to ask do the same thing 5 times in a row, then what's the deal?
Right.
Why don't they just listen the first time?
Place.
Yeah, pressure up.
Place.
Good. So that's going to be new to her. That's why she's having a hard
Stay
time with
there.
it. So you just want to make sure that when you ask her to do something that you follow through with it. Because if you take a template like that and you ask her to do something and then when she's ready to be done with it, she's going to walk away, that's going to be a problem.
That's you see it right there. That's the problem. Having to keep trying to say it and she's
Right.
not doing it. And like you said, the stubbornness.
Yep.
Leave it.
So you want to make sure that when you ask her, you got to
Place.
reset your balance
Place. Place. Good girl. Leave it.
here. Good. And then just hold that place. And
Good
then
girl.
again, when you're going to have to break your habit of asking her to place 3 or 4 times.
Right.
So when you ask her to place,
Apply pressure.
just apply pressure if she doesn't until she goes into a place. The only time you wouldn't do that is if she doesn't know it, because then that wouldn't
Okay.
make sense.
Right. And she does know it.
Okay, so
She does.
let's heel her around again and we'll work
Butter
on that
heel.
again.
Place.
There, pressure up,
Place.
hold, release.
Good girl.
So think about every
is a
time
good
that you ask her to
girl.
do something, if you have to ask her multiple times, she's going to do that with everything. So your
Right.
nephew comes in, another person comes in, leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it. She's not
Yeah.
going to do it. So you can't. So there's 2 things here. She's not going to do it until she feels like she's going to do it, but it also plays a role in your relationship with her. Because she's not again, it's the same thing. Again, I can implement this in any different situation, but employees say, hey, I need you to go and do this for me, and then they just don't do it, and then it happens over and over and over again. They
Better
don't
place.
respect me then, right? That just tells me
Place.
that when I ask them to do something, it's
Good
maybe.
place. Good girl.
yeah, that's not good.
It's a good girl.
So that will play a bigger role in your relationship. So the micro is her not sitting when you ask her to.
Yeah.
But the bigger picture is the fact that when you ask her to do something, she's only going to do it if it's convenient for her.
Exactly.
Right. So just
And
think about
that's-
that. Like even if you ask your dog to sit and they don't do it, you're like, it's not a huge deal. It's just to sit. It is a huge deal because in the future when you
Place.
say, hey, I need you to
Place.
come back and not get hit by the car, or I need
Place.
you to not go after the other dog.
Good place. Good girl.
Exactly.
There you
It
go.
templates everywhere, bubbles up everywhere. So you
Leave
got to
it.
make sure the very
Leave it.
basic foundation is followed through with, because your foundation obedience will mirror your advanced obedience. If you don't have good foundation, you can't ever get anywhere.
Butter place.
But you see how she's doing this because she's used to getting away with.
Exactly. Good girl.
She's just
That's
pushing
a good
and pushing
place.
and pushing. She's like, we don't place.
Stay.
We don't place for long periods of time.
Stay.
And we don't place for distractions, right? That's something you have to get better at.
Okay.
Because say
Got it.
say that person that's around that your nephew or whoever that she might have a problem with, if you can't get her to sit with hardly anything going on, a little bit of stuff going on, but not much,
Right.
forget it.
Right.
Okay, so give her a little break. Do you have a break command?
No, I was doing yes. Like you do yes.
Okay.
Good girl.
So let's start using break.
Okay.
Yes is usually for me like to reward the dog usually, which in term is kind of like an implied break for my particular dog, Lakota. So what I want to do is I want to start using break. So we're seeing we have to have a more structure here, just like with any other dog. This dog with Cooper, it's the same thing with Cooper. You get a big giant dog that feels like maybe they should be in charge of things, and if you don't take control, and then if everything in your relationship with your dog every day is place, 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 and then they get up every 2 seconds.
So when I do that, I just have to maintain, and I don't repeat myself, I just maintain until she listens.
Yeah, essentially.
It's like okay.
But again, it's like there's the fine line of a lot of dogs who come in don't actually know the basic stuff.
Right.
They think they do. Like the shepherd that just came in, her dog used to only do things because they had food. The dog actually didn't know the behavior. So you just have to be careful because, again, if you want your dog to just listen for food, you don't have to say anything. You just hold the food up and they sit. But you can't expect them to actually sit, or in her case, place, when you're out in public. And that's why you have to have the balance, and you have to be very careful whenever you're using any type of tool. Treats are tools, clickers are tools, prong collars are tools, e-collars are tools, leashes are tools, your voice is a tool, and you're a parent to the dog. Just like with kids, they're sponges, and you have to be very careful what you say is okay and what's not okay, because then they start thinking and learning, okay, this is appropriate and this is not appropriate.
Right.
But with dogs, you have to make sure that when you say, hey, I want you to SIT, and then they do it, and then you pay them, and then they get right back up, and you're like, look what my dog can do for food, ta-da!
Right, right.
But then when you go out and you ask them to do it, they're like, where's the food?
Right.
Where's the food at? And you're like, well, I don't have food, I want you to just do it. And then they don't do it, and then even if they do it, they sit for, oh, I'm done. So you have to make sure, and again, it's your training. So if you want your dog to put their butt on the ground and get up and not have any meaning behind it and backing, and because when we're training for reality. We have an animal, we put the animal in our house, and we want them to coexist with us. So if you want your dog to just dance around for food and do things because it's fun and silly for the camera, and no ma'am, and yes sir, and please, and thank you, please do this, then your dog is gonna do that. And your obedience and your control, more importantly, your relationship is gonna be spinning the drain all the time, because they're not actually complying to what you're asking them. When I ask a dog to sit, it's because I'm at a crosswalk. It's because there's another dog that's passing. It's because there's a mountain lion over there. If I want my dog to come, it's because there's a car. If I want my dog to stay, it's because X, Y, and Z. So when we do this stuff, we have to make sure that we're doing it because we need to basically layer this over our realities of living at home and going out and having coffee in the morning with our dogs and downstay. I don't want you to downstay for a cookie for 4 seconds. I want you to downstay while I enjoy my coffee and I can be with my dog. I also want to make sure that when I tell you to sit, stay, because I'm opening up the door in a busy area and I don't want you to fly out. It's not because I have a cookie and it's cute, and when you don't do it, I'm like, please, no sir, no. You're sitting because I don't want you to get hit by a car. You're coming back, and I'm using the remote collar because I can't touch you from a distance. And it's like, well, my dog usually listens, usually until they're under a car. I was an animal control officer, and I can't tell you how many dogs I pulled out of cars because people just thought their dog would come back until the squirrel, the deer, or reality happened. So we can't, when you ask a dog to do something, in her case, when you say, I want you to sit, it's not because it's like, oh, good job. I mean, and if you want to train like that, you can. I know that's not your intentions, but I'm clarifying and bringing things into perspective and context. When we ask her to sit, it's because in about 4 hours, there's going to be a bunch of other dogs and people coming in here. So when we ask her to sit and nothing's going on and she's, and then sit, it's going to be a problem, because then she's really not going to listen when there's distractions.
Right.
And then you're going to be frustrated. Come on, sit. Not really, because you taught her it doesn't matter as much.
Right.
So that's why I'm just giving you perspective and context to make sure that when we ask her to do something, we hold her accountable, not because we're mean dog owners, it's because we care, just like with kids. I don't want you to be home by 9 because it's for your benefit, because bad things can happen to past 9 and the sun goes down and whatever, you can implement that in any way you want. But anyway, so holding them accountable, especially with a dog like this. If you had a little 8-week-old puppy golden retriever or mix or whatever, and they were like willy-nilly, it's foundation. But with her, because of her size and her breed and her innate protectiveness, we have the immediate urgent responsibility, and you just want to take it seriously. Like I see all the time, like I was downtown the other day and somebody was asking their dog to sit, and the dog was just too stimulated being at the crosswalk, and they just asked the dog to sit, and the dog's like, me? Nope, I'm not sitting, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, and they drink their coffee, sit. They just keep doing it. I'm like, you got to take that shit seriously.
Yeah.
Like you can't just, it's
Right.
not a game.
Right.
Like people think it's a game. Like, oh, if my dog doesn't sit, I'll try it again later. Or if they don't sit, I'll go back to the deli board and bring back a different type of blue cheese this time that my dog may like. No, no, no. You got to take that shit seriously. If they don't sit, then they won't come back, and they won't down, and they won't stay. And all these things, we're doing it because they need to listen to us because they're animals.
Can I ask a quick
Sure.
question? Just like the fearfulness, like she gets scared. She backs up into me, and I can tell it's fear. She doesn't know what's going on. But we haven't had any socializing since I've been working, but we used to always have people over, dogs. We'd have 12 to 15 at our house on a weekend. And at that time, she was a puppy. She was great, but she has not been socialized at all. It's almost like I can tell the protectiveness, like when she's getting protective and pumped up, to the fear, like she's backing up into me. And how do I stop all that? You know what I mean? Like I don't want you to be afraid, and I don't
Sure.
need you to be protective.
Right. Well, two things is if she feels like she needs to be protective, that's because of what we were just talking about.
Okay.
If you ask her to sit 100 times, she's like, you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
Therefore, I don't trust you.
Right.
So when shit hits a fan,
right.
I'm not going for you for help. I am the help.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I am the one that's going to be helping because nobody is giving me
Right.
good direction here.
Right.
So, and if it's the other thing where she's just a nervous dog because of her breed or because of who she is, it's a different story. But again, I think at the end of the day, it depends on like if she gets nervous because there's a garbage truck, you can say, hey, come over here and sit, and then let's heal, and then let's do some things. But right now, when you ask her to do
Distract.
something, it means nothing. That's why, like when I see dogs that are trained in certain ways, where we can only get them to do things, and it has nothing to do with technique. It has to do with the skill sets of the. I don't care if you're positive this or you're, whatever. It just depends on how skillful you are as a trainer in most cases. And if you're training a dog to only do things for a certain motivator in a certain scenario, it's going to be a joke when you get out there with the garbage can and the sirens and the squirrels and the deer.
Are you getting that? Okay.
So my point is you have to get back down to the basics to really understand. I think fundamentally, when you ask her to do obedience, it's not because your dog should just have these things in their head and you can show your friends and whatever. I mean, it's really about obedience is applicable to life, a healthy, clear-headed thing. What do you want? This is going on. What do you want me to do? She's not looking at you like that now because you're not giving her that information, you're not giving her that leadership.
Okay.
So if she gets nervous and you say, hey, let's go do this, she's like, got it. I can do that.
Yeah.
But right now, you're like, hey, there's nothing going on in this room and you can't get her to do anything.
Right.
So it's a little bit of, oh, you're a
to-
nervous dog, let's go over here and do something else. She doesn't know how to do anything else right now.
Right.
Because she can't do basics in a room that's
Got nothing.
silent.
Yeah.
Right? So if you go outside, you get a truck, all of those things are going to deteriorate what foundation you have.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different things. I'm not saying that because there's some cases where your obedience is great, but you just have a nervous dog because that's who they are. But having good obedience will give them a job and a task and an alternative thing to do. So there's a lot of things that are going on to make the situations there. That's why I always say, I can judge your relationship with your dog by let me see you walk around this room. I can see what things are going on. Ask her to do something. And immediately, some dogs are like, boom. Other dogs are like,
Yeah, if I
know?
pulled out the sausages, she'd be on command.
right. But you got,
Yeah.
I don't have to, I'm not trying to
Come.
explain this in any further of understanding why that's a problem. You know why that's a problem.
Place.
It's really important that when you ask her to do something, she does it. And, so,
Good
and you
place.
can develop behaviors with foundational motivation, which is great and powerful, which I do every day. I have a treat pouch right here.
I want to know what the treats are.
We use a lot of different treats. We have salmon, we have a ball, we have beef liver, we have her voice, we have chicken. It doesn't, don't think about reward systems and treats as the only motivator. Those are exterior things. Sometimes when you walk into a room, your dog's gets happy, right? Their chemicals start firing off and dopamine starts happening where they're like, you're here, I can smell you, this is great, right? Sometimes when we do board and trains and dogs haven't seen their parents for 4 weeks and I'm up here shaking hands and getting equipment and I go back, they go, they're here.
Yeah.
Whoa, they're here. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah.
You don't need an external cookie to say, hey, do something for me. Sometimes your interior of like, hey, I want you to do something, great job. You are their life. You are their best friend. So if you do that, you pat them and you say, good job, they're like, yeah, cool. Food is good too, but you don't want to override the actual goal. If you override it, it's too much stimulation. And then when you ask them to do it, they don't do it.
Place. Butter. Place.
So
place.
Release.
Good girl.
Good
Good place.
There you go. Just like that. Now hold it. Now she can't get up until you break her because, right, because you go to your room. Okay. All right, I want to go back and play with my friends. And then they go out and you're like, yeah, whatever.
I have that problem all the time. Like stay. I'm trying to get her to stay.
Yeah, we're going to work on it.
She does for, I'm getting something, but not enough.
Yeah, we're gonna work on it. We gotta solidify that. So right now, let's give her a break. So you just say break, break. Good. Now hang out right there. Good.
Right here.
So that's right now she's on her break, so she can go left, right, wherever.
This way.
Good
girl.
So just make sure that when we're developing these behaviors, especially when we get into a group, we're going to go slowly, okay? We're going to play it slow. So when you ask her to sit, we have to talk about the 3 Ds, which is what I talk about often. Distance, distraction, and duration. So the amount of time that you have her into a sit and the duration matters, because if she's not used to sitting for long periods of time, you're going to say, okay, 5 seconds is up. I'm going to break you before you break yourself. Setting you up for success. I'm not going to wait for you to make a mistake because then we're going to be in this vicious cycle. Sit, 1, 2, 3, 4, break. Good job.
Right.
Yay.
Good girl.
Right? So, and then the distraction.
Good girl.
Of, okay, there's nothing going on. Let's add a fake dog with no heartbeat and just let it lay over there. That immediately she went, whoa.
Yeah.
So that's one distraction. I'm not going to bring 3 or 4 dogs in right now and say, figure it out. Okay, and then the distance would be more applicable to maybe the dog getting closer or maybe you stepping away for a stay or whatever. But those are the 3 Ds that I tend to focus on, and they go up in levels. Every level has its own steps, right? So with her, when you ask her to sit, we're not going to say, I'm going to wait for you to make a mistake. I'm going to say, wow, you've done really good. 5 seconds is up, you break her. The next time, try for 7. The next time, try for 9. Et cetera, till you build it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just afraid I'm only going to get 1 second out of her, and she's going to.
You already got more than that.
So.
Yeah. So don't worry about that.
So do I repeat myself if she does break out of the sit? If I tell her to sit, if she does break out of it, do I repeat myself again and apply pressure again? Obviously.
Well, it depends. It's a great question, and I always tell people that dog training is a lot like being a chef. Like you're the chef. And the way that you make this dish will plate and taste similar to maybe the way I do it.
Right.
But everybody kind of has their own twist on it, right? It's not, unless you're doing competitive obedience or something like that, it's not going to look the same. So when you ask her to do something and you ask her to sit and she sits and she immediately gets up, I wouldn't say anything. Bang. Or place in your case. So. But if
so wait, the bang was the correction.
Right.
Okay.
But if she's sitting there for 30 seconds and she decides to get back up, you might just say, sit, and give her a little bit more pressure. Okay. That's kind of like my fairness that I bring to the table a little bit, where I'm like, okay, this is new for you. I'm going to say it again.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, I don't have like an exact black and white answer. I think it's really predicated off of your dog and what they understand. But if you ask her to sit, she immediately gets back up. I'm not asking her to sit again. I'm immediately giving her pressure. 30 seconds later, a minute later. And in some cases, yesterday I did a session. I told my dog to sit over there. I literally forgot she was there.
Is this your dog?
No. He's a shop dog. He's kind of everybody's dog.
Okay.
So let's do this again. Let's do a heel and then another place.
Should I go past the dog? Come on, Butter. Heel.
That's the distraction part.
Ah. Heel. Heel. Good heel. Come on, Butter. Heel. Good girl. Heel. Heel.
And slow down and let's
Yeah.
just work on a place.
Place. Place.
And then just hold up. Don't ask her again. Release. So even on the second place, I wouldn't have said it, but it's okay. It's a habit.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
No, should I be?
No, so right here, great example, right?
Yeah.
So she got freaked out by the camera. So I wouldn't necessarily hammer her for that because this is new for her. This is where that empathy comes in. This is where that understanding comes in. Reset her, bring her back around. Okay, I get
Yeah.
it. And then you ask her to place over here again,
I got it.
right? So there's going to be exterior
Yeah.
things that are out of your control.
Yep.
Like if a bird hit the window right now and
Place.
she was in a sit.
Place.
Hold up, hold up, hold up. Yep. Yeah, don't. Now just
Oh,
so bring her back around. Walk forward a little bit. Now ask her again.
place.
Good place.
Break.
Good.
Oh, I was
So what
gonna
you
go
want to
down.
do is yeah, it's okay. You want to try to break her before she breaks herself, essentially.
Okay.
So we're doing a lot of theory right now, just because I don't need I could get her out and do all this stuff. Nobody cares about that. It's you, right?
I want to watch you do her.
Well,
I
we
do.
we will at some point, but we need to make sure that you know how to do these things fundamentally.
Right.
Because if I handle her and you guys came here, I mean that's my job. It would
Right.
be weird if I wasn't good with her, right? That's what I'm supposed to be doing.
I
So-
love it because I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Good. Now
Good
give
place.
her a break.
Good girl. Break.
Give her a break. Here, let me see the
Break.
leash.
Aw, good girl.
So, what you can do sometimes, like if a dog doesn't do well with certain scenarios, like what you're dealing with the place, you can get some motivation out, like this beef liver here, right? And so if you kind of just go back down to the basics. I've done that I've reset so many dogs. Back in the day when I did all of our board and trains, dogs would come in, I'm like, they don't know anything. I don't care what you say, they don't. I have
Yeah.
to reset everything. I have to go back to the sit, I have to go back to I have to reset, which is easier a lot of times. You just
Yeah.
scrap it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on just a little bit of motivation here. Butter, come.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's got her own thing going on right now, I think.
Come here, baby.
What do you call that?
She's just nervous.
Nervous for mommy.
Yeah.
You're okay.
Butter. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl.
See, that's been my problem since the beginning. She's been very attached to me, and like,
Yeah.
I can't tell you enough how much I do push her away, and
Good girl. Yeah.
that was the hard thing, like teaching her to come. You know,
Yep.
I want to be able to, let her go, but to teach her to come when she wouldn't even get away from me far enough to
Right.
get the chance to call her to come.
Yeah, we'll work on that. So a couple different things is like, again, developing your relationship with her will help. So as you're training with her and you're holding her accountable, you will see within the next couple days, her confidence will build.
Yeah.
She'll feel more confident, like she's got more of a job, she's got more of a task. She'll
You're
feel
okay?
like she's got more stuff going on. The other thing is it'll build more confidence and with you as well. So she'll feel more comfortable
Stay.
with you. So
Stay.
what you want to do is ignore her. So don't talk to her like that.
Okay.
Because what happens is it's good cop and bad cop,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So if she's going, please help, please help, please help, and you're going, I'll help you. She doesn't know what the hell you're saying. You could be saying like, hey, we're leaving here and we're never coming back. She'd be like, yeah, let me come over to you. So you got to realize that she's not speaking English. So when I just hold the leash and I don't ask her to do anything, I give her a big piece of beef liver and she's looking at you like, I can't handle this. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with me. It has to do with what you're telling her. So
Exactly.
right there, you're looking at her in her face and you're talking to her. She doesn't know what you're saying. You could say, hey, he's going to make you live forever. She's not going to turn around and go, oh, cool. I like you then. Like you gotta make sure that you're not giving her any reason to be nervous.
Right.
So if she's working with other people, or a lot of people will do that before they leave, it's okay, I'll be back. It's okay, this person's nice. Like don't do that because you're setting her up for failure.
Right. Treat her like a kid.
Exactly, you're making
Yeah.
her more nervous. Just like when you go to the doctor with a toddler to get shots and you're like, it's gonna be fine, you're gonna do great. It's gonna be really great. It's not gonna hurt that bad, the needle's not that big, and after we can go get ice cream. Your older
It's
brother
almost
did
like
it.
building them up for
For
yeah.
what? Then
Yeah.
they're like, oh shit, oh God, oh
Yeah.
God. Where if you just say, hey, we're gonna go see Dr. Smith, check you out, make sure you're good, and you're talking, you want a lollipop, boop, hey, good job, ding, ding, you're done. See you later. But you're sitting here and I'm holding her and you're like, it's okay, it's gonna be fine. He's not a bad guy. And she's like, oh God, the world's ending. Right? So don't do that because the less is more with dogs.
Yep.
Less is more. You walk into a room, you don't say anything. I learned that a lot with the wolves. When I worked with wolves in Colorado, you don't walk in and talk and lean down and it's okay, I love dogs and animals and wolves, and they don't know what that is and that'll freak them out. You walk in, shoulders are straight, you completely ignore them. You're in. Each one of these clients, you guys, are spending $3,000 a piece to be with me for the weekend. You guys are getting all of that times 3, sometimes times 4, depending on the weekend, because you're in the club. So think about the value here on what that is. I just wanted to let you know. We were just talking, Abby and I were just talking about how much more we could be charging for this club, but we're not because we want to have as many people as we can in there. So I just want to be transparent with you guys and just share with you some of that information. I think it's really cool. So this is Butter, the Borbal, the buttery Borbal. So we're working on some stranger danger things. We had one little incident, and now we're making sure that we understand why things are happening, and how to help with her.
Nice.
So a lot of the same stuff you guys are going to be working on, which
Nice.
is why this kind of setup is really nice, because you're going to pull something from every conversation piece we have. Good. Now, what I want you to do is I'm going to give you a couple treats here. We're going to start redoing this place command, and you can snap these apart.
So use this to,
Yeah, so
okay.
we're working
Yeah.
on the place command, which is the sit for
Yeah.
her. One thing we were having a hard time
Yeah.
with was her actually doing it the first time. So go ahead and stop and then ask her to place.
Place. Place.
So that second time, I'll get an e-collar on you and just remind you.
I'll buy one.
There was a good place.
It's such a habit, it's okay.
Such
So
a
now what you
good-
want to do is pay her for the place. You can give her a little piece of that.
Good
You don't have to
place.
give her the whole thing. Good place.
Just a little bit.
And then here, let me show you. Watch, look at this. You take this and just give it to her. She's gonna nibble this out.
Oh,
yeah.
and she just took the whole thing.
Right, because you let her. So when you do this, look, so I usually just take a chunk like this and I'll just hang it to the dog and they'll just kind of eat around it.
Heel.
Good. Now heel back, good. And then slow down and stop.
In place.
Good place. Good place. So
Good
remove
girl.
it. Okay. Now, I'm gonna try something with you and I wanna see if you're gonna do okay with it. So what I want you to do is just take your treats and put them in your left hand and your other hand there. Yep. And then if you can take the whole leash and put it in your left hand, that would be better.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now hold. Now I want you to handle like this because I don't want the handling to be like a full-time job.
Okay.
I want you to.
Relax.
She's out with you. Yeah. Right. She's out with you. You're not out with her.
Right.
So oftentimes when we handle, same thing you were doing earlier, is it becomes a job where we're constantly in fix-it mode, where we're like,
That's when I first walked her. I'm looking
Right.
at her like, is she doing it?
So shoulders straight, head looking forward, and you just walk and go that route.
It feels good. It feels really good.
Yep.
It feels so good.
Yep.
Heel. It feels huge. Big difference. Heel. Place.
Don't say it again. Pressure up. Release. Good. Okay. Isn't that nice?
It felt good doing
Yeah.
that.
So all it
Feels
is
different.
Yes, because you're taking. It's kind of like I always equate it to when you're watching a scary movie, and then like this really or anything suspenseful, and it like something happens, and then all of a sudden
The release.
you release.
Yeah.
That's kind of what that is.
Yeah. Good girl.
Yeah. Very good.
Checking 'em
So
out.
when you're handling, that's how you want to be. Shoulders are straight, head's forward. That's it. And just remember to breathe and nice and relaxed. The calmer you are, the calmer your dog will be. I know that we asked that question earlier about can your dog feel your anxiety and your frustration.
Good girl.
Both dogs coming out just now, we've seen
girl.
that happen.
Yeah.
And the more you rev up, the more that they rev up.
She revs really fast.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, she's a protective breed, so her job is to be intuitive to threats. So if all of a
place.
sudden,
place.
it's okay.
Said it twice.
Whenever you say it, I'm just going to remind you not to say it again.
Shock. I felt the shock right when I said it. Good place. Good place.
Yeah.
Good girl. That was good.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask her to place. For everyone who doesn't know, place command is teaching them to go to the place. You're not going to use place. You can use whatever you want because your place is
What
sit.
should I use?
Bed, cot, up,
Can I say
watermelon.
put it down. I don't know. Some that's.
Say something that comes, like, that's why you want to say something that it comes naturally. I use touch for my dogs.
I like it.
Okay.
Butter touch. Touch. Good touch.
Good.
Touch.
And just, yep, good.
Touch.
Good
Good
touch.
girl.
Good
Good.
touch. Good. And that's where you would pay her. So not there, though, because she's half on. So it's okay. Bring her back up. So this is where you're going to use your body to work with her. Here, let me see her for a second. You're going to have to maneuver your body around to make sure that you're getting her to where you want her to be. Come on, Butter. Oh, my goodness. I know. Come on, Butter. Good. So here, you could take her back. So bring her back over. Bring her back over. She doesn't need to work with me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I never really need to touch a dog. So bring her back over.
Touch.
Touch. Use your body. You come around. Show her. Stop. Good. Come back up.
Touch.
There.
Stay.
Good. Release your pressure. Relax.
Good girl. Good touch.
She's just a big girl, so she's going to slide around a
Touch.
bit.
There was a fat comment he just made to you. Don't
thick.
worry. We're going to
Spin her around again and just do it
We're
again.
going to thin you out. Come on.
So we're going to do it
Come on,
again.
heel.
But use your body and your leash to
Butter
maneuver
touch.
her there.
Touch.
Now go around. Go around. She's going to follow you. There.
Touch.
There.
Touch.
All the way to the corner.
Up,
Keep
up.
coming. There. Stop. There. Good. Good
Place.
touch. Pay her.
Good touch.
There you go. Now take the food away.
You're a porker.
Break.
Good.
Break. Yep. Make
Break.
sure you break her off.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I want to do
It's
it
a
again.
lot.
Can I do it again?
Yeah, of course.
Come on.
See, that's the only advantage of
Come
me
on.
working with the dog is I can show you how to do it and make it look really easy.
Butter touch.
But-
touch. Touch.
Good touch.
Good
touch.
touch.
Good. Okay. You ready?
You're a little chunky.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to neutralize the food again. So don't have it. Oh, God. Just give her a break.
He's
Scaring
just
her.
trying to fatten
Sorry.
you up.
So try not to lure her over with this.
Oh, is that what I did? I'm sorry.
A little bit. You kind of had it here, and you're walking around like you want her to go
Stay.
up to the touch and have the treat be neutral. So go ahead and go to the touch.
Butter
so you're
touch.
going to come around. You're going to hold.
Touch. Touch. You're okay.
Good touch.
Good touch.
So remember that chatter
Good
too.
girl.
Don't throw that in there because she doesn't understand English, unfortunately.
Okay, I got it, and I know what I said.
Right? She flunked out of kindergarten.
Got
right?
it.
So give her a break.
Break. Break. Good break.
Yeah. Do it
Heel.
again.
Butter touch. Touch.
I know she did good in dog kindergarten,
Touch.
but she didn't do her ABCs in kindergarten.
Good
good.
touch. Good girl. Too
Looks
much
like-
chatter?
No, that's okay. I just don't want you to tell her it's okay because that's too much chatter. You want to give her
Good girl.
information that she understands that you're working on. Give her a break.
Break.
Does anybody
Good
have windows down
girl.
in their car? Because it looks like
I
it's about to
love
pour.
it. Butter touch.
Good touch. It's okay. You don't have to. Don't correct her. She didn't do anything. Yep. There you go. Release your
Good
pressure.
girl.
There you go.
Good touch.
Good. Now just hang out right there.
Oh,
You can let her have it. No, you don't have to. Good.
good. Break. Break.
Good.
Are we going
Make
to make
sense?
you stay? Yes, yes.
Okay. Now just Swing back around, and I want you to just hang out for a second. Don't ask her to do anything. Just watch me, okay?
Okay.
So I don't have Lakota here because I usually put her in that office, and that's where the dogs go.
Yeah.
So usually I have her here to show off, but basically what you're gonna do is when you go over, you're gonna say, touch. And when you bring her around like this is what I was talking about with your body. Is before you were kind of just doing this, and
Yeah.
so what you want to do is say, hey, touch. She's going to naturally come over and follow you, and then because she's big, then that's when you kind of slide over here, and then you pay her for touching right there.
Okay.
And then you hold, and then you break her off.
Okay.
You don't have to ask her to sit necessarily. You don't have to get her to stay. You just give her a break after.
Heel.
Windows up.
Touch.
You can tell
Touch.
both dog and human are perfect.
Touch. Good touch.
down?
Good girl. I have not.
Good.
Place.
Well, we caught it.
Touch.
Because it looks like it's about to come down.
Good touch. Butter. Break.
Good.
Break. Good girl.
Let's do that one more time.
Butter heel. Heel. Butter touch. Touch. Touch.
Good touch.
Good touch, Butter. Break. Break.
Good.
Good girl.
All right. Good job. So you guys can hear that. All right. So what we're going to be doing is, go ahead. You had a question?
No, she totally responded to the sound.
Yeah.
Come,
So what we're going to be doing is
Come.
we're going to be
place,
adding in some of the stimulation.
place.
And what I'll do is I'll turn it off if it's going to be too much for her.
She's already. Yeah, see how she's gotten?
Yeah. So we'll turn it off. It's no big
Come.
deal.
Butter, come.
Well, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding in the remote collar stimulation when we ask the dog to do very basic behaviors. So, with that being said, we're going to be adding, go ahead.
She's totally squirreled out already. You see how she's getting all, because she's thinking the sound came from over there. Settle. Place.
But I think
Place.
also too, like
Good.
you have to dictate how that goes. So I think you're matching all of that. So
I'm
like if you just put your arms down and don't worry about what she's doing, you wouldn't think that at all,
Okay. Gotcha.
right?
Yeah.
So maybe she is a little suspicious about what that noise is.
Yeah.
But the more you kind of like feed into that,
Right.
so you just be neutral
And
and
that's
just
what I do. I
know.
automatically pull in and
yeah.
Place.
So that's what I mean is you start to get, and then it's hard to even talk to you because you're matched
Yeah.
right with her.
Exactly.
Because you're just you're so concerned about all this other stuff. It's also different for me just because it's different. Because I do this every day, so it's like
Second nature.
Yeah, exactly. I don't read into that stuff. So, when you're using and introducing the remote, Dogtras have 127 levels, 100 levels, depending on what unit you get. We're going to be working on conditioning levels, which are low-level stuff. So usually 10 and below. 10 would be a high conditioning level. So go ahead and just squeeze this on. So all you do is you take this bungee and you just squeeze it right over the head and you put it on. It's going to go right below the prong collar.
Under the prong collar or above it? Because
It's supposed to go under, but
she's kind of tight on the.
okay, that's all right. You can just leave it right there.
Yeah, she's
It's fine. It's fine. You want it nice
Good
and snug.
girl. Good girl.
Okay, is we're gonna start tagging this in with the very basic stuff. So we're gonna ask her to sit, or in this case, place. And I'm gonna hold the continuous down and it's gonna continually go to her until she does it. So go ahead.
So this isn't a beep, it's a,
It's a stimulation.
okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So go ahead and heel her around and then I'm gonna use the stimulation when we ask her to place.
Butter, heel. Come, heel,
And I turned the sound box off because I didn't wanna freak her out. So come
Okay.
back this way,
heel,
stop, and then ask her to place.
place.
Pressure's on right now, and now it's off. So the e-collar
Good
turns
place.
on with you.
When I say it.
Right, and it's not a correction.
I love it. Oops.
It's okay. Good.
Is she
So-
down?
Yeah. Yeah. You can look at her.
I don't want to look. Because she always backs up behind me
Yeah.
when she goes down.
Yep.
So, good girl.
Would it be possible for your other arm to like raise it up?
Sure, sure.
See how you do it?
Yep.
Yeah, because
Take the e-collar and slide it to the side a little bit.
you're okay. You're so fat. You really are. Mommy can't get it. There you go.
Good.
Is that all right?
It's perfect.
Good girl.
All right.
Okay, you love the
So let's do this
treats.
again.
Heel,
So right now
Yeah.
she's on a level 5.
heel.
Let's go ahead and stop.
Place,
Pressure's on,
place.
off.
Should I be using the prong collar at the same time or no?
You can. Doesn't matter right now.
Okay.
Back on,
Heel.
off.
I'm confused. To know.
It's okay to be confused. The
'Cause
only
I
reason
am.
why I turned it back on is because she got up.
Oh, okay.
And that's why me using the pressure is going to be on time with me and not on you.
Okay.
So you put her into a sit, she got up, I said sound on, and then you healed her. That's why
I
you got
keep letting her
confused.
getting away with everything. Like, and I don't pay attention
Right.
that she's getting back
And I think
up.
it's not necessarily letting her get away with it. It's some of that, but it's also just not being used to having a very binary heel and you know.
Making, yeah. Okay.
So
You
just
ready?
remember when you ask her to do
Behave.
something, like I am listening to you the way that she should be. So when you tell her
Right.
to sit, I'm giving her pressure,
Okay.
right? And then when she got up, I gave her pressure immediately when her butt got back up, and you healed her forward.
Right.
That's why we're gonna go like this.
right.
So,
Okay.
So just remember that when you ask her to do something and she doesn't do it, and or she doesn't hold it, you just put pressure back on.
Okay. And not repeat it. Okay.
Right.
Getting it. Heel.
Good. Now release your pressure, nice and relaxed on that arm. Good.
Heel. Butter heel.
Good heel.
Good heel.
Good. Now stop and ask her to sit.
Butter place.
Pressure's on. Or off.
Good heel. Or good place.
Good. Now hold. Just let your pressure down, nice and relaxed. Good. So that was nice for two reasons. You didn't ask her twice, and you didn't have to give her any leash pressure.
Right.
She just did it. I had an online yesterday with somebody who got the e-collar and didn't understand the difference between the stimulation and the vibrate. Oftentimes, because of preconditioned notions in our head, the stimulation is shock, it's corrective, the dogs don't like it, and the pager is what we're going to be using. The exact opposite. The
Vibrate.
pager is the vibrate,
Okay.
which is very intense. It's probably 10 times more intense than the conditioning levels that we're going to be using. When you get a good remote collar, you have variations of low levels that the dog barely registers, and it gives you an opportunity to feel the dog from a distance, right? So this individual had an e-collar that she paid $30 for online. It had 8 settings. The level 1 is probably a level 15 on this remote. We are
Wow.
conditioning on a 5.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had to explain to her in reverse. That's why e-collars are getting banned in certain locations, is because there's not enough people who know how to properly use them, period.
Right.
If people knew how to properly use them and people knew what they were, they wouldn't be being banned. They would be being restricted off of who can get them probably, so people can use them right, so they can have a dog that in the UK doesn't attack sheep, or here in the United States doesn't get hit by cars, because that's one big thing that happens here often. Anyway, so making sure you have a good remote collar, like this new unit that we created, the Dogtra 280C, has 127 different levels. So right now she's on a 5. I can bet you $1 million, you take that 5 off, put it to your face, you can't feel it. You can't even feel it. It's not like, oh, it doesn't hurt. No, you won't even be able to feel it.
One I had, I think I put it on a 1, and I mean, it felt like a lot of vibration to me. You know,
Right.
like just the beep scared her.
Right.
So that's why I didn't want to use the vibrate, thinking
Right.
she'll take off from me.
Sure.
Come.
And it will if you don't pay attention to it. So that's my point, is you get like a different collar, and that's why it's hard for me to, it's why I always tell
Right.
people, that's why we created this. I'm like, this is my own unit, this is
You
how we
know
do
it.
it, I know it, I
Yeah.
developed it, this is what it does. And it's
Turn
like that with a
here.
lot of other dog tree units. So when you're asking her to do something, all I'm doing with this low level is I'm following up with you at the same time. So when you say sit, sit
And you're holding it
until the
she
butt hits the
does.
ground and the butt hits the ground and then it releases.
Okay. Okay.
So the goal of the remote collar stimulation at this level is for her to understand that that stimulation is coming from you.
And then when it stops. When
Right.
she does it, it stops.
Correct.
Butter touch,
Pressure's on,
touch,
off,
place.
good.
Good
So
girl.
she's kind of auto sitting now, which is nice.
Good girl. You want
So-
the cookie?
The reason why we do this is because we want her to understand the remote collar well. So she understands how to turn off the pressure. She understands that it's coming from you, and it's not a correction. So what's the point? That's usually the next question, is what the heck's the point of this then?
So
And
that
it
I
w-
can touch her from far away.
Right.
Come.
And you have the ability to go up and correct her if she decides not to listen.
Right.
And that's going to be the difference between life and
Please.
death for dogs off leash. There's nothing else in the world that gives you the opportunity to actually touch the dog completely off leash other than a remote wireless collar.
Right.
So if they get out for whatever reason, or you're letting them off leash and they get a wild hair and they go, you're either chasing that dog or you're just waiting for them to hopefully come back. With the e-collar, it eliminates that. That's why in the UK there's a big problem because they just banned remote collars. And they also just passed the law that farmers can shoot and kill dogs at any given moment on their property if they feel like they're harassing their sheep. So even if you were on their property walking your dog and your dog looked at them and they thought that your dog was harassing, they could kill your dog legally.
Right.
And they also banned remote collars. So it's like at the same time. What are they trying to do here? But there's a lot of people over there that do remote collar training and whatever. It's like here. It's just a very political mess up.
Right.
And there's more people fighting for their opinions than reality.
Right.
It'd be a lot easier if some people were like, hey, we're going to train like this. We don't really care for that. And then we were like, okay. And then the other side's like, okay, well, we're going to train like this. We don't really care for that. It'd be nice. But
Yeah.
everybody's just trying to take away everything. It's very childish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touch,
Pressure's on. Pressure's off.
place, place.
Pressure, release. Good. So let's do a stay.
Can you stay?
It's not very confident. Back into a place. Sit.
Place.
Good. Pressure is on there too. Sorry. So let's just tell her to stay.
Stay.
Nope. Do it differently. You got this.
Stay.
Better. that was better.
I think I should have said
Place.
3 days earlier.
That was good. You don't have to
Stay.
change the tone of your voice. You just have to change the way that you say it. So we just talked about that. Place. Pressure's on.
Place. Place.
Pressure's off. Good. So
Stay.
there you go.
Stay.
So it's not. It's more stay instead of stay. Because the first time you did it, you literally said, "Can you stay?" That's you saying like, "I don't think you can do this, but I want you to."
Get over
So
here.
let's put her back up.
Butter. Touch.
Pressure's on.
Touch.
Pressure's off.
Place.
Pressure's on.
Place.
Pressure's off.
Stay.
You don't have to go deep if you don't want to.
I did that.
No.
Stay.
Yeah. You just have to say stay
Stay.
instead of stay.
Stay.
So you had an evolution there. You evolved. You went from can you please stay to stay. Good. Now come back towards me. Back. All right. So let me see if I can handle her. I doubt it, but let's see. Butter. Place. Or touch, right? Butter, touch. Good touch. Touch.
Should I leave?
No, it'd make it worse. Touch, just don't worry. Touch. Good. Place. Good. Stay. Good stay. Okay, break. Good job. Good job. Butter. Come here. Come here. Yes, good. Good. All right, I'm gonna do that one more time, but just watch how I'm doing this. Don't worry so much about what she's doing. Just watch how I'm handling her. So it's gonna be pressure on, butter, touch, pressure's on, pressure's off. Pressure's on, off, place, good. Stay. Good stay. Good stay. Break. Good job. Just like that.
That was awesome.
Yep.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
You were in that stay mode. You weren't still pushing the button.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I wasn't. I just asked her to stay, and then I just reinforced good stay. But it's the way I'm handling her is like very clear.
Right.
So we talked about like the insecurities of why dogs get so attached, why you get into a relationship with a dog that becomes, you know,
Crazy.
it's so black and white, you can't mess it up.
We can mess it up. 'Cause
Yeah. Yeah.
We're learning.
That's why it's like,
Just holding this in the left hand is learning.
Yeah,
Because I'm
yeah.
always in the
yeah.
always in the
Let's
right.
do it again. Let's do it again.
Butter. Butter. Heel. Good heel. Come on, butter. Touch. Place. Stay.
Release your pressure. Good. Now just walk backwards. Good. Back into a place.
Touch. Place. Place.
Good place.
Stay.
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 Good. Hold that. Go and pay her. Good stay.
Good stay.
Good. Now back up again.
Stay.
So you want to be neutral when you tell her good stay. So good stay. Pay her again.
Good stay. Am I saying
Good.
it
Give her a break.
totally wrong?
You're getting caught up in changing the
tone.
tone instead of the inflection of how you're saying it. It's not about how high it is, because my voice is higher than most female voices. So it's not
Touch.
about how high it is.
Touch.
It's about
How you say it.
how you say it, right?
Place.
Good. And then a
Place.
place. Yep. Place. Pressure's on.
Place.
Pressure's off. So
Stay. Break.
you did it. Good. What we could do too is we can start outside. You could just
Okay.
walk her around the parking lot, and then we could come back inside.
Okay,
That way she can get the juices flowing a little bit, and it's nice out. So
beautiful.
yeah. So let's do that. So why don't you just spend some time walking her around here?
Come on.
And really, this is to get her comfortable. So just to kind of get the
Leave mommy
bugs
alone.
out. And no pressure, no test. We're not going to ask her to really do anything. Just
on.
kind of walk her around and get her comfortable.
Come on.
Yeah, I know.
And it's understandable.
Yeah.
But like I tell her, like we just went to the dog park, you know, and a male dog came up to her. She was fine with the male dog, tail wagging.
Right.
But then there was an older female dog. There was only 2 dogs in the park. Came up with the male dog, and she started her growling and, you know, just that being a female.
Yeah.
And of course, she got all nervous and
Yeah, I know. I think clarifying what these things mean for her will really help her. And then once we get back inside, we'll work on some healing exercises. Right now, she's in a break so she can be a dog, and that's what I wanted her to do. I wanted her to relax a little bit and
well,
be a
and
dog.
that's something else I hope you go over with my wife too, because that's what, like, after we left here, I'm like, honey, she's being a dog. What did Tom say?
Right.
You have to let him be a dog. It's not all about, you know, heel, place,
Right. Every second. Right.
you know.
So keeping her on a loose leash is really the healing goal.
Okay.
Just keeping her right there. And then we could do sitting, and we can also do the break command too, or whatever you guys are using for
Okay.
break. But really just keeping her structured. Like outside, that was her break. That was her getting the jitters out, letting her be a dog, getting her, every dog likes a walk. So that's what
Right.
that was. So now when you ask her to heel, you're gonna keep her left side, try to be as loose leash as you can. Now if she pulls and goes and tries to go in front of you, tries to go in different directions, you just give her a little bit of leash pressure to keep her in line.
Okay.
So you
Come on.
work on that for a couple minutes and
Heel.
get your gears together here, and
Come on.
you got to tune her up. It's going to take you a couple rounds to get it clarified here for her.
Come on. Good girl. Come on. Over here. Don't be looking at me. Just look at where you're walking, huh? Come on. Come on. Leave it. Leave it. Place. Place. Stay. Stay. Huh. Huh. Good girl. Come on. Hold on. Let's go. Heel. This way. Come on. Place. Stay. Stay. Come. Heel. Heel. Come on.
You notice she'll walk better going that way than to the gate because she wants to get to the gate.
For Mom. Yep.
So let's turn back around this way.
Come on.
And then if you can, pull that prong collar up just a bit. So you'll take it and you'll pull it up like,
Pull it up
just
towards
pull her
you.
skin down and pull it up closer to her ears so you have more control. There you go. There you go. Beautiful. There you go. All right, now we'll do a little stop and go action here. So
Okay.
you'll walk forward and then slow down a little bit. And when you're yeah, there you go. So see how she walked backwards?
Okay.
If you pull back, it'll actually work better instead of up. See? You have a little bit more power steering
Okay.
there. And then what I would do is just choke up on the leash just a little bit.
Choke up on it.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just get a little closer to her.
Okay, come on.
Yep, there you go. Good. There you go.
Come on. Yeah. Looking at me.
There you go. Nice. Good
Looking at me.
engagement. Good.
This way.
Good.
Come on.
So doing that stop and go is just keeping her engaged with you too, which is nice.
Come on. This way. Come on.
Good.
Come on.
And then
Touch. Place.
good. And then what I want you to do too is when you're doing this, just don't put any pressure on the leash. So when you bring her over, don't put
Just
any
loose.
Yeah. The pressure is
Okay.
only going to come on if she's doing something she shouldn't. You
Okay.
can give her a little bit of pressure to kind of push her there,
Right.
but
Break.
make sure that when you're like asking her to do, like when you say place, don't hold it up.
Gotcha.
Let me see if she'll let me do it today.
Go on.
Touch. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Butter, come on. Come on. Good job. Good job. Good. Butter, touch. So like watch how I'm doing this on the leash. Good touch. Good. Butter, place. Good. Nice and relaxed. You see? You don't want any unnecessary pressure on. Okay, break. Good job.
Girl.
The main reason is because you want it to be very distinctive when
When
you're,
you are putting the
correct.
pressure on.
Correct.
Okay.
So if you're at 50% all the time, it's 50 to 100 instead of 0 to 100.
Right, this way. Come on. Come on. Touch. Come on. Touch. Place. Touch. Come on. Yeah. Place.
Good.
Good girl. Good place. Break.
Good. Now I just give her a break. Yep.
Okay. You see a puppy?
Good job, Butter.
Huh?
Good job.
See a puppy?
That was good. Any questions on that?
No. Nope, I just got to learn, because I don't know if it's my height factor or just, trying to grab it close enough, but like you said, to give her that slack, because the wife said it when I was trying to do a little with her yesterday after class,
Yeah.
putting
she
that
has,
tension on to where, like you said, now it's not a 0 to 100, it's a 45 to
Right.
95.
Exactly. So let's give her a little break. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get her a little bit of water See if she wants some of that. We'll let her just cool down for a little bit.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
good.
Am I ever going to be able to get her to come when, you know, when the name's called?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
that
that's her biggest fear factor with her right now is we got a long leash like yours, and that's basically what we walk around the yard. And then, of course, we have a cable, which
Yeah,
is worthless for her.
Well, yeah, it's a good question. There's a big difference between leaving your dog outside to roam and then recall.
Right.
Like, recall is just when you're out with your dog and they're off leash and you get them to come back.
Right.
That's something that we can do. But having her out in the front yard off leash, the e-collar is manual, so it's not an invisible fence.
Right.
So you can do recall as long as you're outside because it's a manual command.
And we're always outside with her.
Yeah.
I mean, for the time being. But I think once she learns her territory, I don't know, and not, you know, she can only go so far. I mean, I'd have to imagine the collar is somewhat like the invisible fence because after you go so far, I don't
Right.
want you going any further. I'm going to give you a little buzz and call your name, and you're going to
Yeah.
hopefully come running back. So
Yeah.
then you learn your territory, I
Yeah.
would think.
You're right, yeah. They would. It's just you have to worry
on,
about the
over here.
exterior stuff like other dogs, other animals, things like that.
Gotcha.
Those are the things that I would be concerned about because again, that's where you'd have to be there to say, hey, come.
Right.
Because if she sees something,
Like
and
a
you could do
squirrel.
invisible fences. I don't trust them with dogs who are, you know, potentially going to go and.
See, well, we
Ruffle
had an
feathers.
invisible fence for the Mastiff.
Yeah.
Never needed it for the Rottweiler.
Yeah.
But, you know, when he wanted to go through,
Right.
he'd go
That's
through.
what I'm saying.
You know, so
That's
there
why
was
that's why I use real fences for that, you know.
Okay.
But anyway, so as far as like off leash recall, that's something you could totally do. Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
What? This way.
So you got the idea yesterday on how it works, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to work it for you. So go ahead and do your thing, and I'm going to work it for you.
Okay. Heel. Good girl. Good girl. Touch. Touch. Place. Stay. Stay.
Let's see how she does with the sound box today. No, we won't do it. I don't want to freak her out. But every time you ask her to do something, I'm turning the pressure on.
Break. Good girl. Huh. Go on. Okay, come on. This way. Yes. You healing, huh? See a puppy? See a puppy? Yes. Good puppy. Okay. Touch.
Pressure's on.
Place.
Pressure's off. Good.
Stay.
So regal, Butter.
Stay. Huh. Break.
Good
Yes.
break. Good.
Good break.
And when you say break, you can also move your body a little bit.
Okay.
You just want to really let her know it's almost like playtime.
Come on. Come on. Heel. Place.
Pressure's on, pressure's off. Good place.
Good place. Stay.
Where'd you guys get her?
Break. Southern Ohio. Touch.
Pressure's
Place.
on, pressure's off. Good. And let's just do a stay there.
Stay. Break. Come on.
Good.
Good girl.
Good girl. Good job, baby girl.
Come on. Okay.
Pressure's off.
Place.
Good.
Stay. No.
Yep, just bring her right back.
Come on.
Just catch her right when she thinks about getting off is when you catch her with
Touch.
your leash. Pressure's
Place.
on, pressure's off.
Place.
So move around a little bit. Yep. To get that back leg. Yep, there you go. Good.
Stay.
So you gotta, because she's so big, you have to
Right.
move around to get her
Stay.
there.
Break.
There you go. All right, give her a break. Good job.
Come on.
You just tell her break, and then you can come over here if she wants. That's it.
Trying to get rid of that. I'll do it.
Good girl. Don't give her any pressure on the leash. Just nice and relaxed. Good girl. Good job. Good girl. Yay. 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 Good job. Woohoo. Good girl. Good girl. Good job, Butter. Yeah, wiggle butt, wiggle butt, wiggle butt. Good girl. So what do you think of that?
I loved it. That was over the top.
Well, that's what anxiety is thinking of the worst case possible scenario, which is ripping this fence down and dragging the puppy out by her ears. Oh, good girl, Butter. Good girl, Butter. Good. So there's going to be certain dogs that she's going to be okay with.
Mom, I like her.
Yeah. So younger female. Good. That's good. Thank you. Thank you for your help. That was so good. Want to go back and play? Good. Good. And we're going to do it again. Good. All right, we're going to do it again. We're going to stop and sit in the middle. Left. Good heel, Cokes. Okay, let's go ahead and stop and sit. Left. Left heel. I'm just going to heel around you. Good girl. Good. 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 So this is kind of just pressure testing you a little bit. Left. Good. Yep. Good. Left. Good. Seats. Good. Couché. Assis. Good. Left. Good. Heel. Yep. But that's why we're working on it. You just got to get these kinks out. Good girl, Cokes. Left. Good. Good. Heel. Good. Good. Cool. Assis. Left. Good. Left. Good. Yep. Good. Cushy. Good. All right, let's just heel that way and then come back. Good girl. Break. Good girl. Good girl. You're gonna come back and just go into a sit. Aus. Fui. Left. Heel. Yeah, that's fine. Heel. So just pressure up. There you go. Release. Good. Good. And hold that. Good. Just like that. Perfect. And just turn your body. Straighten out. Right there. Good. Good. Stay. Good. Good girl, baby. Good. With who? What'd she do? Back into a sit? What'd she do?
We were just walking this morning. There was a kid sitting on the curb at the hotel, and we're not sure. Like we got just past him, and she was heeling between the two of us, and she spun around and went to a full-blown attack to get him. He was on that side, so he blocked her where I grabbed her. But the kid, when we got past, he said, "I just wanted to say hi to her." So I think he lashed out.
Ah,
Like if you touch her rear end, she's gonna spin on you. So I don't know what it was, but it was a full on. She just spun. It was fangs and lunge.
you want to play the situation as it lies instead of how it laid before, if that makes any sense. So just try not to, I understand like being cautious and being mindful and being safe. What do you think of that crow, Indy? I see that. I see that. So you want to be safe, you want to be mindful, you want to be protective, but try not to have an incident where you don't really know the context or the circumstances hinder your ability to move forward and progress in the future, you know? What you need to work on is just your up here. And up here is something that I can, you know, bring the horse to the water, but I can't make him drink type thing. So you just have to be calm, and that's why you did good. You did good. You just don't want to project. Yeah, right. Like situations that happen, I've learned over time. That's good. Yeah. I've learned over time that situations that happen, dogs are so, like yesterday when Chief like got growly with Butter, we could have sat there for 45 minutes and been like, huh, wow, gee, wow, what the heck? What was that? Oh, nothing, Chief, you know, they got a little too close, that's it. You know, and you're walking by somebody and somebody may reach out to touch her and then she turns around and says, get the hell away from me. And then if we sit there and we hang on and clinch to that as it's gonna happen to like every time we see another person, you'll never progress. You'll never, but you do want to yield a certain amount of, exactly, in safety, but you don't want to live with it all the time, like where it's going to happen all the time. You just want to be prepared. And that's what I was saying. It's a lot different. Like even if I had like a smaller dog, you wouldn't nearly be as worried as you are. But when you got that at the end of the leash, exactly, it brings a lot more to the table. And that's what I was saying with Cooper is you get a dog that's 120 pounds of 100% diesel muscle like a linebacker, and then they make these decisions. It's a lot different than having, even Lakota is the smallest dog here, and it'd be different if she was like that. But so anyway, so you're doing good. You just, yeah, don't dwell on, like you're sitting there doing really good with Butter and you're talking about a mistake that she made earlier, you know, which is okay. I want to know that information. I'm just saying when I'm not around, I feel like you would still, we're doing really good, but earlier there was a mistake or earlier there was a mishap, you know?
Well, it's just my anxiety level.
I know.
Because of that. So that's like just good.
Yeah. So you got to learn, and that's something, you know, going back to your handling thing is, that's why I give people Lakota sometimes. I'm like, here, she's trained, and people still can't handle the situation because it's up here. You know what I mean? So that's something that you want to live in the now and take deep breaths and say, hey, we're good, we're good, we're good. And you know, really just control the situation because she's so in tune with you, she's really gonna, and then she might make a mistake because of that. So anyway, do you have any questions before we start?
I'm nervous. I'm going to fail.
You're gonna fail. You haven't even started.
I know. It's the timing thing. Say it and start pressing it.
That's it.
And then release when she heads in that direction. Which one am I pushing?
Bottom one.
Okay.
Yep. And just remember, that unit is, it's on a low setting, so you really can't mess it up. You can mess up your timing, but it's not like it's not gonna hurt her or anything.
Yeah, my timing is.
Yeah.
Here. Come on. Put her here.
So just stop in place.
Place.
Good.
Should I have pushed?
Yeah.
You should have?
Yeah, we're e-collar training. You want to use it?
Okay.
Use it.
I'm nervous.
Just hit it. There you go.
Place.
Release. That's it.
Good girl.
So every
Okay.
time that you ask her to do it, just hold it, and then when she does it, you
Let
release
go.
it.
Okay. Here. Come. Come on. This way.
And like I said, it's on a 5,
This way.
so you can't
Butter place.
release.
Good girl.
That's it. You got it. See?
Yeah.
I think you gotta give yourself more
I
credit.
just have to Just do it.
You really do. Every time that
Butter-
you think you're not going to do something
touch.
good, you always do good. Release.
Place.
There. That's it.
Oh.
It's okay. It's all right.
And you went down.
But that's what we were talking about earlier.
It's
It's you. You
Yes.
have to build that up.
yeah.
Like I can give you a completely trained dog, and
Yeah.
you're still gonna be like, I'm gonna.
I got to
know.
get it in sync.
Yeah, and you just have to build confidence within. It's all within.
Break.
Good.
Come on. Huh? This way. Butter place.
Release. Good.
Good girl.
That's it.
Break.
Nice job.
Come on. This way. This way. Butter touch.
Release. Good.
Good girl.
Good job.
Good girl. Break. You're making mommy look good. Come on. Good girl. Come on. Butter place.
Release.
Good
Good.
girl. It feels like I'm the one with the vibrating and she has nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Butter, come. Butter place.
You just got to whiff a hawk there.
Place.
Release. Good job.
Good girl. Butter touch.
Release. Back. Just give her a little pressure on the leash. Back up. There you go. Good.
Touch. Good
So
girl.
in the future, you could also use your e-collar for that. So if she starts to get off, you would just replace the leash pressure with the e-collar, or you can do both in the beginning.
Okay.
And again, making sure we all understand, because in the preliminary stages, in the beginning stages, it seems like, what's the point of the remote collar? Why am I adding this in? And you got to remember, you got to start somewhere with the remote collar.
Place.
In order to use it to get them back when they do run.
Correct. They have to understand that language, and so just give her a little pressure back on. Walk
Oh,
forward.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Walk forward.
Butter touch.
Good.
Place.
Good. There you go. That's it. Good.
Girl.
Okay. Good. Now, questions.
Recall.
Yeah, we're gonna do
Then it's
recall.
gonna
I
be
want to
my-
go out in the parking lot and do
Come.
it with her because I don't want her running around the room in here.
Okay.
So we'll get the long line. We'll go outside in the parking lot. We'll do recall with her. We'll
I
end it
like-
with her, and then we'll get Chief out. We'll get Indy out, or vice versa, and then we'll do recall out.
Butter come.
Good. That's it.
Good girl.
Perfect.
Wow. Good girl. Oh, you want a cookie? That's what she.
Take the
waiting
collar,
for.
put it on the side, just tighten it up a little bit. It's a little loose. If it's sliding around like that, it's a little loose. She's probably getting contact, but you want it nice and snug.
Okay. I was asking that about the prong collar, but the prong collar I think is
Just make
really
it-
good. There we go.
Go a little, here, let me see. Go a little snugger.
Okay,
Just
you're
pull it up on the
alright.
belt so I can see it.
Stop.
There you go, that's good.
I'm gonna go up one more.
Okay, just make it nice and snug. If it's not snug, it doesn't work.
Good girl. Maybe you could be the distraction to get her away from me. Leave it. Come on.
Just ignore, just completely ignore. Now, yeah, call her,
Butter, come.
release, good.
Good
So right when she
girl.
starts to come towards you, shut it off, that's all.
Okay.
Give her a break.
Break.
So
Break.
make sure when she comes to you, you break her away.
Break. Break. Break.
Let her go, let her go. Follow her, follow her, follow her, follow her. Okay, now call her,
Butter, come.
release. Good come.
Good
Reward her.
come. Good girl.
Yep, yep,
Good girl.
yep, good. Give her
Don't
a break.
get her running.
Break.
Break. Break.
Good. Yeah, I would just go to the end of the leash and follow her if she gets too far away.
Butter, come.
Release. Release. Good. Good. Good come.
Girl.
Reward
Are
her.
you limping? Are you limping?
She is a little bit. But what
Yeah.
I would do is recall her
Here.
back into you. So make yourself
Okay.
a target,
Okay.
because you got a bunch of people out here. So you want to make yourself a target. Give her a break.
Break.
Good. You don't have enough room. She's gonna make you trip again. So just follow her, or just let more leash out, and then call her.
Butter, come.
Back up. Good.
Come on,
Release it, release
come.
it, release it. Good. Good come, good come, good come.
Good
Good
girl.
girl. Well
Good
done.
mama's girl.
Good. Okay, I'm gonna go grab
Place.
the fake dog as a distraction. We're gonna do the same thing, okay?
Okay.
It's not real, so
Place.
don't worry. And you will do good.
Okay.
I don't want to hear any of the negative stuff.
I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I just have to do it.
You gotta get the jitters out.
It's the timing thing. I don't want to do it at the wrong time.
The good thing is, like Tom said, it's a low enough level where you can't really see what's up.
Like you, the hard part is getting her away from me.
Oh yeah. But it's funny because he's definitely dad's favorite. But he apparently wanted to come to me. He knew I had treats.
He's here. Break.
Want to pet the dog?
Good girl.
Call her.
Oh, jeez.
Call her.
Butter, come.
Release. Good.
Good
Back
girl.
up. Give her a target.
Good girl.
All right,
Okay,
give her a
I'm gonna
break.
be your target. Break.
Good.
Break.
And then just start walking this way towards the fake dog. Now draw back, walk backwards. Call her.
Butter, come.
Hold.
Butter. I'm
Release,
sorry.
release, release. Good.
Repeated myself.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Don't say sorry. It's all right.
Good girl. You're doing good.
You don't want to. You don't want to project that.
Yeah.
You
Like I'm
projected the
failing.
oh shitness.
Ex-
Don't do that because that makes her nervous. It's
Whoops.
so back up. Now call her.
Butter, come.
Good. Just like that. Good.
Good
Now ask her to sit.
girl. Place.
Release.
I didn't
Perfect.
use it. I didn't push. I forgot.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Don't say sorry to me. I don't care.
Break.
Give her a break.
Break.
Good.
Break.
We'll do one more and then we'll end it. She's getting tired.
Break.
Let her go all the way to the fake dog. And dad. Oh, that's your buddy. Good. All right, call her.
Butter, come.
Big distraction. Reward her. Turn it off. Good girl. Good girl. Well done.
Oh, my baby.
Good. So what level is she
Will
at?
be 5.
Okay. Take the remote collar off for me for a second, please.
Come. Place.
Yep. Thank
Good
you.
girl. Good girl.
You know, there's some people who comment in my videos about that dog and how I
know.
should never drag a dog like that. Dead ass. All right, here's what I want you to do. Put this on your wrist.
Oh.
Yeah. Here, let her. You can call Butter. And then you hang out with her for a second. You can let go. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
This is your 5.
Wow.
That's it. This is the pager. Vibrate.
Wow.
Stimulation 5.
Yeah.
So very low.
Okay.
So that's what she's responding to.
All right, so just so I can get this right in my head, because I was calling it a beeper when it was just the sound, and then the buzzer when it was just the vibrate, and then you
Stimulation.
stimulation
And pager. Stimulation, pager. Stimulation, pager.
so the pager is just
The vibrate, so that's that.
Okay.
This is the stimulation, the 5. So what you just felt on that 5 is what you were recalling her on.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Now, if you get into a situation, again, this has 127 levels.
Right.
So say she sees a dog, she sees a kid, whatever the heck it is, rabbit,
Yep.
and she goes, you can go up in your stimulation to correct her and she'll come back.
Okay.
You have to practice this. You have to change your environments. You have to use distractions.
So this is how I'm turning
Yep.
it up.
Yep. Here, and let's turn it up so you can feel it. So you,
No,
yeah, you have
I'm
to.
Scared.
Don't be. Why are you scared? You're
Okay.
using it on your dog.
I just don't want to get.
Trust me.
Okay.
Watch. Let me know when you can feel it. It's not gonna hurt.
And you're using the stim button.
Yep.
Okay. I hear it more than I feel it.
Of course.
Now I'm feeling it.
Feeling it?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
18.
Okay.
You felt it,
Right.
right? Doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
You go, hey, that's a tingle.
Yeah.
She's on a 5.
And she's listening.
She's listening.
And
Great.
it's awesome. It's awesome.
You did good.
Decompress. Butter, come.
Now just back up. Call her right into you.
Come
Wheel her
here,
in. Wheel her
baby
in.
girl. You're coming to mommy.
Good.
You're limping,
You guys have any questions on that?
babe.
So homework would be making sure that when you're out with her that you're also setting her up for success. Be mindful of where she's going. She's powerful. So if she goes here, even in situations where she may have gotten comfortable with these guys, but there's a couple times where she's gone over really close to you and she's sitting right next to you, and if she had a problem with her, it'd have been your fault, because you got to be mindful of that. So yeah, right. And then even situations too where these guys were sitting next to the water bowl and she went over. She doesn't have a problem with the people here, but you have to be mindful, because if they go to reach over to a paper towel and she's drinking water here, that's a problem, and it's your fault. So just be mindful of that, because that's the whole no bad dogs mentality. It would have been your fault 100%, because you get a dog that doesn't really like or trust new people and can be very explosive, and she's sitting inches away from these people. And now they have to sit there like this and pray to God she doesn't react. But don't put her into those situations. When you come out of a room and there's people and she may want to go see dad or see somebody else that she likes, do not let her go over there, because it's going to happen really quick. And there's going to be a lot of perspectives. And if she does like people and she gets introduced to them, I'm not saying don't, but I'm just saying you have to be mindful that when you're out and you're at Home Depot or you're at Lowe's or you're walking the dog or you're checking out of the hotel and somebody's here coming over to get an apple and they go, oh, cool dog, bang, your fault, because you got to pay attention. I mean, the reality is obviously it's that person's fault, but you brought out that dog and you weren't paying attention. So you have to make sure that you're always head on a swivel with a dog like that. When I walk my St. Bernard, who does not like other dogs in my neighborhood, because I live in a typical neighborhood, in a cul-de-sac, there's families and kids and everything going on, and there's dogs that get loose and people that aren't paying attention, and I'm not gonna go and yell at them at that time, but it happens. So I am constantly head on the swivel. I got my halt spray with me if anything happens, and it has, and I'm just always doing that. So you have to do that even more for her, because it's people and she's powerful. My guess were to say, like, I don't think, same thing with a lot of the other Borbals that I've worked with in the past that have been similar behaved, is they just want to, they're protecting dogs. They're Mastiffs. That's what they do. I'm not really going to engage with you and fight you and drag you to the ground and eat you, but I'm going to scare the shit out of you. And that's what she does. And luckily, you haven't had any incidences where you have a bite history or anything, which is great, and I don't want you to, and I really don't think she would. But with that dog coming up doing this, and it's really easy for somebody to get hurt like that. So that's one big thing that you have to do with her. And then everything else that you've done, you already know your downfalls of the things. Just, if you're not in the right state of mind and you're nervous, don't handle her. Because a lot of the things that you're working on is a very internal thing. There's times where you're like, oh shit, this is gonna be terrible, and it's literally absolutely nothing to her. And that's normal, and it's okay because of her breed, and you wanna be responsible. So if you're not in the right headspace, or if you're like, this is too much, I'm freaking out, even though she's doing good, get out of there. Because if something does happen, again, it's gonna fall back on you, because you're shaking like this with the dog on a leash, and she's like, what's wrong? So be mindful of that.